Oconee County Rescue Squad Advisory Commission, December 12th, 2024, 6 o'clock. Call to order. Item 2, approval of the minutes for November 14th, 2024. Has everyone had a chance to look those over?
Yes.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Passes. Item 3, public comment, 4 minutes per person. Anybody in the audience wish to speak? Hearing none. Commission member comments. I don't have any. I've got a few I'll make once we get to those items later on. Vice Chairman McCormick, do you have anything?
No.
If there's no questions for either of us, we'll move on to committee reports. Radio Committee, Commissioner Zahn and myself. We haven't met. I have spoken to Aaron. He wants to have a meeting before the end of the year. Just waiting on him to send a scheduled meeting out for that. You got anything else?
No. I think we haven't met because Aaron keeps canceling meetings. The radio programming and everything seems to be moving ahead without feedback from the committee, without approval of things from the committee. And I'm not happy.
Is there any questions? Just waiting on Aaron to send out an invite. Incentive Committee, Commissioner Zahn, Commissioner Wilbanks.
Well, incentive committee hasn't met in, I think, 3 years. So why should we even have an incentive committee if it's not going to have input into the process?
I know at one point, Deputy Chief Carroll, if you could touch on it. I'm not real big familiar on the Senate Committee, but I know when we brought it up 2 months ago, Director Cron said that they only meet once a year and it's usually at the end of the year. How does that work?
About putting words in his mouth.
Yeah,
It should be set down, the Senate Committee should meet in August of every year.
okay,
Come up with the incentive for
for the
the
next,
next year since it starts October 1st. So that will be in an SOG that'll come out dictating what goes on with this and how the incentive program will run from there on out.
For the first couple of years, we used to meet in February, so it was right at the beginning of the year, and everyone had the opportunity to make sure they met the requirements of incentives.
Was that when incentive ran from January to December then? Or was it?
No, that's when Scott wanted to meet and make the rules for the present year that was just starting.
Gotcha. So the plan is to meet
Yeah.
in January for this coming year. Everything will stay the same. Except for the addition of probably one additional item, which is the NIMS classes, which is required by FEMA for all rescues and fire personnel to have. And then the rest of them will stay the same.
you're talking about 100, 700, 100, 200, 700, 800, which they already have to have that to be a responder anyways.
Correct.
Did you say those were changing?
Those will be additions. But that'll be brought to the group. But, like I said, that'll be part of an SOG for fire and rescue, stating when this group will meet, who will be a part of it, and the dates they will be a part of it. So once and for all, it's something that everybody can go by.
Okay. Any more questions or input? SOG Committee, Commissioner McCormick and myself. We haven't met. I know Director Crown has the latest of our SOPs we submitted May 23rd of 2024. I haven't heard any comments back on that. We met again in October, was it? And did an addendum to it, submitted that. Haven't heard any feedback either from emergency services. Anything to add? Questions? Have y'all heard back from any of your membership on the last addendum we submitted for cruise lots?
No.
Okay. We'll move on to training committee, Commissioner Wilbanks and Ms. Raber.
We did not meet this past month, because we're on the every other month schedule. We will be getting together pretty soon after the new year, after committees get set and everything, to move forward with the document and get all that straightened out with the new program.
That includes the ASHI stuff that we're having to do now.
Yes.
Okay, if there's no further input or questions, Budget and Finance Committee, Commissioner McCormick.
We formed it and
Remember.
it's gonna change, so it'll be pushed to the next commission in January.
If there's no comments for committee reports, we'll go into item 8. Deputy Chief Carroll, your report.
Hey, good evening, everybody. New vehicle updates. We picked up the R2 chassis, the utility body truck to pull the boat, and yesterday, so it's at motor pool, waiting on quotes from the body vendors to get the body put on. The Rescue 3 truck, we had approval to buy a Ford F-150 Responder, which was on the lot. And by the time it went to board and approved by the county council, it had been sold. So we have the one on the lot, but we also have the one that's on order. It's the same, but it's just on order. And it'll be here March, April timeframe. Anybody have any questions on that?
You said that was the R3 truck?
Yes. An R2 truck, chassis here, just give them a lead transport or whoever the vendor's gonna be to put the body on. Response report. A lot of calls. We had improvement by Rescue 4 and Rescue 5. And Kiwi. Squads, Seneca and Salem stayed the same, 100 to 99.9% on response success rate. Oakway did slip last month down to 45. Mountain Rest still continue to struggle. They're at 12%. And Dive and Special Rescue. Special Rescue didn't have any calls last month. Anybody have any questions? Training. I don't know if everybody had a chance to, train officer Honeycutt put out that the EMT class was not gonna start at the beginning of the year, but the two that were scheduled for the summer are a go still.
You know what happened with that, Mike?
Don't, made a phone call to him, but he's teaching a class down at the fire academy, and I haven't been able to get ahold of him. I got the schedule for January through June coming up. We're gonna have, I gotta fix this one, because we came out with a schedule for Christmas, but we'll be doing it's not gonna be an EMR or EMT every other month, it's gonna be BLS, continuing education, will cover both. So, there's not much difference between EMR and EMT when it comes to basic skills, just getting down to what medications you can give. So, we're gonna have every month a daytime and an evening class for people to go. And that, if you miss it, you'll be able to make it up at one of the other licensed agencies in the county, which is Walhalla or Kiwi Key Fire.
What class is that again, Mike?
Continuing education.
Okay.
And continuing ed, talking with, like I said, with the doctor, a continuing ed class is gonna be a requirement to do for everyone. Just not wait till once every 3 years to take a class, or 2 years. So that'll be coming out. What's the schedule for that? Hopefully next week. I do have an EMT refresher scheduled for February 18th. I've got a hold of it, most of the requirements for chief officers, for rescue squad states, you have IS 300 and 400. Majority of all the chiefs do except for one, and they've been made aware of this class. And that's being taught here at Oconee, and you're also doing the 300 and the 400. So if you got any new people who want to aspire to be a chief, it's a great time to get the, the classes here in county. So those are in, I just lost it, April. April, and then May. And they're doing a weekend and they're doing a daytime and a weekend night class. So there'll be more of an option for everybody's work schedule. Special rescue classes, we got some on the books. Looks like trench rescue again coming up in May. Anybody have any questions on those?
Do you know if the E EVDT class is full?
I do not.
Okay,
That's the one that's the nighttime class you're talking about. I can find out.
okay.
All right, that's all I had on training.
The continuing ed you brought up, so is that gonna be an additional hours to your continuing ed, or is that still just the 16 you have to have each year?
That'll be part of your continued, what you have to have.
But, okay, so it's not gonna add to it though?
I mean, it'll be your continuing ed for your EMR or your EMT.
Right.
So it's taught by a state licensed, well, not licensed, but
Approved.
approved, continuing ed instructor.
Okay.
Is that Zach and Michael?
There'll be a bunch, I don't want to say a bunch, but it'll be a mix between Prisma, the ones that are from Wahala, who's gonna get approved, the ones that from Kiwi Key that are gonna get approved, and then us, yeah. No other questions? Incentive. Putting all the rosters together. We have a total of 300, at the count of the rosters when we did it, 314 volunteers in the county. Of the 314 volunteers spread out across all the fire, rescue, and hazmat, 156 qualified for incentive this year. Which, right under 50%, I mean, that's 49.99%, so that's pretty good. Checks came in, we had some holdups because some chiefs didn't get their information in. And which, on that, affects many people because we have a lot of people who are members of multiple departments, so if one of their departments didn't get the information in, then we gotta hold up their check because it's not the full data for what incentive points they could have possibly got. So, and that's another thing why I needed it in writing, so, because we're still even though it's been the same way the last 5 years, I didn't know I had to have it turned in by now. I didn't know I had to have it done by now. So, piece of paper that they go continue to get, and I'll send it out every month to everybody, just to jog memories. So, but that's by far, it was over, I don't have the number off last year, but that 50% was pretty good. I think it was really good. Anybody have any questions?
So, something to go back up. again, I'm not too familiar with the incentive committee and things like that. What dictates the emergency services rate for the incentive check? Because I know this year it was cut by $1.70 a call.
You had more people get it too. So there's a pot of money that comes out of one of the funds, I'm not familiar with which fund, but there's a dollar amount given, and to stay within that.
So that's a fund in emergency services budget. And then based off of how many people made incentive, then you can kind of divvy up the rate based off of how many people run on a call. Okay.
But it's just not calls. Remember, there's 460 available points given to the chiefs for being chiefs, which get 20 points. And that's for them taking care of the paperwork and other things. And then there's 1,250 points that are available, that are another add-on to that, just runs for the 50 administrative points chiefs can hand out.
Okay.
All right, rescue commission results. Region 1, Commissioner McCormick did not run again. Rescue Squad 1 member Ken Justice was elected. There was no candidates from Rescue 3, so he won a majority of the vote. Rescue or Region 2 doesn't get elected again until next year. Rescue 3, which are squads Walhalla and Westminster, Sawyer Gambrell won the election. Region 4 is not till next year. Region 5, Steve Zahn did not run again, and that election is gonna be held again due to the fact they only did a voice vote. Even though the same candidate still has to have a ballot with it. So they'll vote again in January. Anybody have any questions?
Will that vote be done before our first meeting, or will that person not be seated until February?
Steve, when's the time special rescue meet?
Like the
Third?
third or fourth Thursday, yeah. Oh,
Should be the
Tuesday.
week, it should be the week before you meet.
Okay.
And that's all I have. I just wanna say thank you to Commissioner McCormick and Commissioner Land for the 2 years of service, or longer, in some instances. That's it.
All right, if there's no more questions. Item 9, Director Cron's report. You got anything to comment for him?
No.
Okay. Item 10, Rescue Squad updates, Region 1, Squads 1 and 3. Commissioner McCormick.
I have nothing new to report.
Okay. Region 2, Squads 2 and 6. Commissioner Wilbanks.
As far as Rescue 2, I was just looking back sort of over the year, and we have had 8 new members come in this year, and that's pretty good for us. So we've got a good crew up and running right now. A couple of those are brand new, so they'll be trying to get in the next EMR class, hopefully. Everything going well other than that. Rescue 6 had some communication with Chief Fox, and he said that they were still trying to get things up and running and get some members in to fill those empty spots, so that's all I have.
Okay. Region 3, Squads 4 and 5, myself. I spoke to Chief Colopy. Their new new Chevy is back in service. They wanted to stress they had a spare to drive while the new Chevy was getting fixed. And I know I brought it up at one of the other commission meetings. They want to stress keeping that spare instead of it going back into the motor pool lot or wherever they go. Especially with the 76 bridge still being out, If a responder on that side of the construction has to go to the squad, it adds a 20-minute response time. So they just wanted to make sure that they appreciated getting a spare, but if they could hang on to it a little bit longer, it would be more appreciated,
Until the bridge is fixed.
until the bridge is fixed at least.
And so I talked with him about that. So they have 4 vehicles and they're still, if you look at the response rate, are hitting still just above, just made 70, but for a year, 61% of their calls. And that number drops significantly. We just looked at nighttime calls. That number drops significantly to where it's just Westminster Fire running the call. So at this time, they have enough vehicles to cover and put vehicles on that side of the bridge. I mean, basically, they're using one vehicle as a chief vehicle. So,
Okay. As far as Rescue 4, we participated in the Walhalla and West Union Parade. Got to get out in the community, that was nice. We're actively recruiting, and apparently our garage door got fixed today, so that's great. That's,
knock on wood.
yeah, we'll see how long this one lasts. That's all we've got going on. If there's no questions, Region 4, Commissioner Raver.
We have, I believe so far, 15 people signed up for the new class in January. We're also considering, we're doing a build through, with Station 17, building beds. It's a charity, building beds for children in Oconee County. And we're gonna try to do like a work group thing together to build camaraderie with Station 17. And we're gonna try to do that, I think, in April or sometime in the spring. I don't have anything else.
Good. Region 5, Squad 7 and 8, Commissioners on.
Well, things are quieting down, giving us a chance to work on equipment and training, which we're doing.
If I could add something for that, that's already one. The box truck is having a new engine's out, it's in Greenville, getting a new engine put into it. So, I'm not sure the return date on it, but right now, all the stuff that was in the box truck has been dispersed between SR-82 and the old, well, still used for the motorbikes trailer.
Anything else, Commissioners on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Our at-large member, Commissioner Jackman.
I don't have anything tonight, everything's been quiet, so.
Deputy Chief Carroll, you got anything to add?
No.
All right, if there's no comments for Rescue Squad updates. Item 11, executive session. Does anybody see a reason why to go in executive session? I'm not hearing
No.
any. All right, next item on the agenda is to adjourn. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second? Second. All in favor? We are adjourned. We'll come back in January with some